Another cold morning, but don't worry, I remembered to keep the damn GoPro in the heat so it wasn't a princess of a dead battery. Today we got Josh's car back on the dyno as promised, and I'm pretty excited for today. You pretty excited for today or what?
It's gonna be fun.
So Type RA, you guys have just seen Josh's video. He had just picked this thing up. It is a 2018 obviously RA STI. All factory right now. We haven't done a single thing to this thing yet. We did some baseline pulls the other day. Car made 271 and 276. We're gonna do some more today, and the reason why we're gonna do another pull factory is to give you guys a true baseline. So that way it's on the same day, same time, same temperature of doing the other mods we're gonna do today. Today is a pretty cold day. It is about anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees outside, and it is pretty cold. So if you see us being pale, little Arizona boy over here, he's about dying. Yeah. So we have the door open obviously because we have to run the dyno. So it's gonna be pretty chilly. Thankfully we'll be able to get in the car and get out of this extreme temperature while we're doing some pulls. I did see some comments before that your guys' RAs are hitting more boost. That is true. You got to keep in mind that Subaru originally tuned these cars, and same on the cobb maps, which we're gonna see later, with safeties and protections for extreme temperatures out. Now when we put this car in a dyno last, I want to say it was still pretty cold, wasn't it? It's probably like 20 to 30 degrees outside, and with it being that cold outside, there is some safeties in the ECU that does pull some wastegate duty cycle out. So yes, there is a chance that it could make more on a warmer day where it truly has all its wastegate duty. It would have hit more boost obviously, but then obviously you start fighting more temperature. So you know, which one's better? Really cold intake temps and less boost, or hotter intake temps and more boost? It's just something that we'll have to test with later on when we put this car on the dyno. So I hope that answers your guys' question why you saw this thing had less boost on the dyno. I think we saw a peak of what, 16, 17 pounds, I think was what the peak was that day. We'll be able to see what it is today. My guess is how cold it is today, it's probably gonna be around the 15 to 16 PSI mark, and it may be even less. So I don't think we're gonna do a bunch of pulls on the stock map again because we already did before. So I think we'll do the first pull, we'll see where it's at. You know, if our numbers look pretty close to the last one, then we'll just call it there. If we see a drastic change, then we'll probably do one more just to verify and see. And then from there, that's where things are gonna get interesting today. So what'd you pick up for the car?
Oh, we got...
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? We got the intake, we got the cobb downpipe,
yep,
and then the access port.
Awesome. So we did get a cobb stage 1 package for this thing. So we do have the cobb SF intake. That is going to work with our newer style 19 intake on this car. And we have the cobb catted downpipe to put on here as well to go to a stage 2 platform. So we're going to be doing some very cool things today that I have not seen done. And that's the whole point of having a dyno, is to be able to show you guys what do parts actually do. You know, what do you actually gain from doing mods on your car? And I think this is very relatable to about 99% of you, because that's where you're going to start out with, is doing an intake, probably an exhaust and a downpipe. Maybe an exhaust today. Maybe. Possibly.
Might have
one. So unfortunately our fuel pump did not come in time, and I don't have one here. So that is pretty unfortunate. I think we're going to obviously run into an issue of our fuel system getting maxed out. That is going to be an issue today. These things do max out the fuel system by going stage 2. So I was hoping to have a fuel pump to give us a little bit more headroom until we get the bigger fuel system on the car. But I think this will be a good comparison for most of you guys out there, because this is about, like I said, where everyone's going to start. So we don't have an aftermarket boost controller either. Josh slacked on ordering all the parts, so you guys can thank him. So we don't have a boost controller and we don't have a fuel pump. Wish we would. So it's just gonna be pretty basic bolt-ons today. So what our plan is, now I've talked your ear off, is we're gonna do our baseline pull stock, see where the car's at, and then we're gonna actually install the intake on the dyno. Yeah, my hand's already freezing thinking of it. So we're gonna get the cobb SF intake installed on the dyno. Then we're gonna install the access port on, put the cobb map that goes with that intake, which will be stage 1. And we'll do a pull. We'll see what the car gains. We'll show back to back. We'll compare the graphs on the dyno, and then once we're finished there, we're gonna pull the car off the dyno. We're gonna go over to the nice warm shop, de-thaw a bit, and we're gonna put that downpipe on the car, come back to the dyno, with the Cobb Stage 2 map loaded on the car, do a comparison, overlay the graphs for you, and then from there I'm going to tune the car and see if we can pick up anything off of it. The Cobb maps are great maps, guys. I know they get kind of a bad name online. You know, you see Cobb OTS maps, don't use them. They don't work. They blow your car up. That's not the truth. You know, personally have used Cobb OTS maps on my own car, and as long as you follow their parts that are going with that tune, I think that's the biggest issue that people do is they think they have like-minded parts on the car, you know, a different intake or so forth, and they load the Cobb map on the car. The main reason for the Cobb maps are to get you to your tune, your pro tune, your dyno. You know, it's something to get you by until you can get a pro tune on the car. It's not a forever tune. You know, you got to understand every car is different. Obviously, similar parts react similar ways, but in the end, every car is different. So I will always recommend a pro tune for your car. I think today is going to be fun because we get to show the back-to-back testing. And yeah, I guess we're going to get the car strapped on and get started. My hands are already freezing, so I'm going to get some gloves, get the thing strapped on, and get started. Alright guys, so we're in the car. Now I'm getting it ready to do a pull. We're definitely not going to go out to 7,800. We'll probably end up going to 65 to be honest. We'll just rev it to 65. Same as what we did the last time. So we are ready here. This is all stock form. I did leave it in Sport Sharp. So we will go ahead and see what she makes now. Get up to speed here. We'll mainly get in the fourth gear. We'll see if we make the same numbers as we did the last time. So, and here we go. Our numbers here as soon as the dyno slows down. Hopefully I hit the end of our RPM there. I didn't rev it much past 65. Sometimes the dyno is not perfectly calibrated to it, which looks like I didn't hit it stop. That's why I didn't slow down super fast, but 263 and 269 today is what we made. So we will look at our graph here. Now keep in mind, like I said guys, it's showing it's 27 degrees in the shop right now. Obviously I can't tell you what intake temp is because I don't have a way to look at that on here. There's no access port, the car's all stock, so I can't tell you what intake temps are, but I would imagine that they're probably not too far off of that. We have been sitting here for a bit, so that could mean that they are a little bit higher than the temperature outside right now in the car because of heat soak. But let's see where we hit for boost here. Yeah, definitely is a little bit lower today. 14.3 is what I'm seeing kind of as the peak there. Like I said, there is safeties in the car. Being that it's so cold out, I'm sure it's pulling out some of that wastegate duty. It's just a safety. So definitely made power. Looks like even with the weather correction we made, it's a little bit blurred right there. I don't know why. That's kind of weird how it's blurred there. Looks like we made more around there. 266, 272 without the weather correction today, and that could just be because it's so damn cold out. So we'll go ahead and back this up again because obviously we'll probably have a little bit warmer temps right now because we've been running it and we just did a pull. So we're going to go ahead and do the same test one more time just to give us a good baseline. Sport Sharp, we're going to keep that in all modes. Obviously, like you saw before, Intelligent did make a little bit more, but we'll go ahead and make another hot pull here. So let's get her going. Josh is enjoying it in here because it's really cold outside.
Feel my toes now.
Yeah, it is definitely cold out there, guys. Alright, let's see what we do again. I'm going to try to go a little bit further in the RPM now. That way we can hit. No, we didn't put the wideband in. Forgot about that. Come on, girl. Let's see if believe I hit that cut on here. Yeah, it definitely slowed the car down a lot faster there. So made pretty much same power, 269, 277. So I would imagine that we had a little bit more boost there on that run. As you heard me say at the beginning of that poll, we spaced on putting the wideband in the car. So we'll definitely do that. You want to do that?
Yep.
So we're gonna put that on so we have that for you guys and that information. Graph looks a bit better on this one, definitely. Definitely kind of nice how power comes up and then lays over and kind of holds flat there. Now, that's a pretty nice power band right there. Obviously up top, the factory tune on the car is pulling throttle back, and you can see it there. That's why it's falling off really right around that 6,500. So I might drop our end RPM down just a hair, because we don't really need to be revving it out to there right now. So let's look at our boost, because I would imagine that it probably came up on that one. So here we are. No, still pretty much the same, 14.3. It's just cold out today. That's why it's only hitting 14 pounds, because you can see obviously this peak up there is 18.8. So as to be expected, you know, different temperatures, it's gonna hit more. So now that we got the wideband in here, we got another hot pull. We'll do one more. I'm gonna drop the RPM down, not the 55. I'm gonna drop this down, probably like the 63. That way I don't have to rev it out so far. And we'll do one more hot pull. So this will be 3 pulls on stock, and we'll see what our average of those numbers are. So that one there, it made 269 and 277. I'm gonna have to try to remember what it made on the last one. I think it was 266. All right, guys, let's do another pull. Now we got wideband on here, so you guys can watch. 11.8, and then up top 11.2, 4, so 14 pounds. And it should hit the cut there and slow it down. There we are. Yeah, so it made, see how it makes more every pull? It's just it adapting to the dyno. The ECU will do that on pretty much any car, honestly. So I think that'll be our good number there. That's a pretty good number. I made more than it did before. 274 and 281.
Yeah.
So definitely good numbers. Hopefully you guys can see that there without it being blurry. I'm gonna go ahead and take a photo of this. Let's look at our graph. Pretty nice graph. It's gotten nicer every time. You notice that? Definitely, it's nice how it comes up and holds, and then, like I said, it's pulling throttle back up here with the factory tune. So let's look at our boost. So it definitely made more on that one. And like I said, imagine that our temps are getting warmer in the engine bay now because we're doing pull, so it might have bumped up a little bit. 14.5 pounds though. That's not bad.
Wow.
For 14.5 pounds. So that's gonna be our number that we're gonna go with. I'm not just gonna average it. I'm gonna just take that number there. 274 and 281. That's gonna be the one that we use as a comparison. So now, get your toes dirty, Todd.
Yeah.
We have to go back outside again. So we're gonna install the intake here. It's a Cobb SF airbox. You know, maybe Josh will be nice enough to hold the camera here as we do some stuff, but I probably won't record every bit of it because, well, it's 27 degrees in the shop and about 5 degrees out the door, so pretty cold. So I think we're gonna definitely just try to get that swapped out pretty quickly, and then we'll load the access port onto the car, put the Cobb FF stage 1 map on, and we'll probably do the same thing, just do 3 pulls there and pick the highest one from that, and then we'll kind of keep going from that process. So we got the first part done now.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna take the photo of this graph and we're gonna get that intake on. Boy, the stuff we do for you guys is freaking cold out. So I'm sure all of you know what a stock engine bay looks like on an STI. As of 2019 plus, the intake air ram is different. So those of you buying intakes out there, just know if you have a 2019, this piece is different. This being a 2018, technically it's a 2019, guys. That's pretty much what this is, but this is just that one-off that's 2018 that had the different ram that they tested on an RA. So Josh has his new airbox assembly there. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this. It's very straightforward, guys. I don't think I need to walk you through too much of this. We're gonna have to pull this ram off. There's 2 clips here. This thing pulls out. Undo our hose clamp here. There's a nut right there. Obviously, unplug our mass airflow sensor, and this thing will come out. There's one more bolt down there. Don't forget about that. Oh boy, these are fun. I gotta get a little flat head for this guy, and then we'll show you the new one. So just wait and... All right, intake is installed after about froze to death out here. And apparently the person lied to Josh about it coming off of 2019 because this thing obviously was not for 2019. But they were nice enough to give them this duct here. And I'm guessing that's why they had an issue and had to have this, because this is a pre-2019 intake duct here. So it doesn't matter, you're gonna do the same thing. We are gonna now load the access port, which he just grabbed, onto the car, and we're gonna put the cobb map on for the SF intake. So let me do this. We got the wife, she came and joined us. Also wanted to freeze with us, so pretty cold. All right, you wanna hold that? Don't press too many buttons. All right, let me load this access port on. You ready to void your warranty?
We'll have to delete that from the video.
Please hold. Well, that's a good sign. At least it's not married to another car. Install. Yes, I'd like to void the warranty. Please wait while map files are loaded. All right, we're gonna pick, since this has the cobb intake, we're gonna do stage 1 SF intake, and we have beautiful 93 here, so that's what we're gonna pick. We're not doing boost select. The hell, cobb, where's the map? Economy? No, we don't want no freaking economy. Stage 3. No. Apparently they're all boost select, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pick highway skate because well, we want all the power. So pick that map, let this load, then we'll let the car warm up again, and we will do another pull. Yeah, flashing. 2%. Probably take a moment. All right, car is running, and as I had thought earlier, I told you guys it was 27 degrees, as you can see over there outside, but our intake temps are 50 degrees. I know that's kind of getting down in the area where we have a factory compensation, so it is going to probably pull some boost out. I did go ahead and have dynamic advance pulled up here. It's showing as it is a 1.0, which means we have full power, and I have a couple other things showing up on the access port. Now we're just using this for monitoring right now. This is the cobb stage 1 93 map. This is a high wastegate map, so we're going to see what it does. Keep in mind, like I said, with that intake temp being at 50, it's going to pull a percentage out of there. I'd have to take a look at the map to tell you how much. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. It's not very much, that 50. I think it's probably going to be maybe 10% less wastegate duty. So maybe with that high wastegate map on here, we'll be able to target a little bit higher here. So just letting the car warm up, and I'm going to go out there and turn the fans on, and then we're going to do our pulls. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 pulls on this, see how everything shows, and then I can pull it up on the dyno and show you a comparison. So let me go turn these fans on. All right, hood shut, fans are on. We're going to leave everything the same here. Start is at 2500, ending is at 6300. We are going to do our first pull here. So let's see how we do. We're going to hear some more intake noise with having this intake on here, as you would imagine. It's going to sound quite a bit better. Oh yeah, you can hear the blow off valve now. So here we go. See what she does. Watch the numbers. Oh yeah, 19 pounds. Definitely felt quite a bit healthier. Definitely had quite a bit more boost on that. But let's see what the numbers say. It says 261 and 301, Josh. So we definitely gained torque, which is the direct cause of having more boost. having more boost could mean less timing, which could be the reason why we have less horsepower. So let's take a look at the graph. Definitely looks really smooth, really nice. Well done, Cobb. I will show you a comparison here in just a moment, but let's show the air fuel and boost. So I glanced over here, and at the beginning you're going to notice we were at 19.3. so I saw that pop up 19, and then as per usual, I mean, we're going to ramp down anyways up at red line, which still pretty impressive. 15.8 pounds up top at red line. I'm pretty surprised. With this fuel system, we're going to end up having to taper that even more when we put the downpipe on the car. But you can tell their fueling is tremendously better than factory, because you guys remember it was super lean on factory. And yeah, going into it here at the beginning, you know, we come in at 12.0, comes down to 11.7, kind of rides out right there, 11.7, and then we come down to 11.3 all the way out, 11.2 up top. Which, keep in mind, this is at the tailpipe. I know I saw some of your guys' comments before, and it is true that it is going to be richer up front. So this being at the tailpipe, it does show a little bit leaner, especially after the cap. But definitely a very nice graph and a lot smoother than factory. So this is definitely a big upgrade over the factory map. Let's go ahead. I'm going to try to pull up our previous run here, and then I can show you. So we'll load, and then it should already be in here. So I'm pulling up his last one. So the last one we did on the stock tune, we're gonna have to go off date and time. So this is going to be the one we just did, and this should be the one we did prior. So I really hope this is pretty clear, because you can see the factory being that dark red line there is super jagged. Look at it. I mean, it doesn't, it's horrible is the one way to put it. You can see our boost increase is pretty large. You know, we're at probably, I can't click on it here because it's not going to tell me. We're at 18 pounds on the cobb map there, and maybe it will tell me down there. I mean, we're probably 13 pounds. I can't really tell, give you an exact number there on what the factory boost is, but tremendously better. Now, let's see if I can pull up our, I'm gonna have to pull this up manually again. Let's do second test, load. No, we don't want quarter mile. Not yet. We can do a quarter mile test later. All right, Josh? So. There we have it. So that was the last one over the cobb map. So keep in mind, look at, you can see our torque here, obviously off the hit is definitely way more than factory. And I can make this probably a little bit easier to see by doing line graphs, hopefully. And more horsepower right away. Now factory, it did have more horsepower up top, but that could directly, like I said, be caused by timing. You know, cobb creating a map that's safe. Excuse me, as I swallow down the wrong hole. Creating a safe map. I mean, the point of these maps is to kind of get you by until you get your pro tune, like I was talking about before. So that could be the direct cause. You know, obviously we do have more boost, but less timing up top. Kind of playing back and forth there for what we get. Now, as I did before, we're going to do another poll, and we are going to see what the car makes, because we got to give it 2 more opportunities like we did on stock, do 3 polls, and we'll pick the best one out of there to compare. So now with the car's had some time to cool off here as I'm talking your ear off, we'll go ahead and do another poll, see what we get. So we'll get up to speed. Definitely hear that intake, huh?
Yeah. And a blow off.
Yeah, you hear the blow off valve a lot more. All right, and here we go. We'll watch our numbers. Yeah, definitely richer. Let the dyno slow down. So yeah, as I thought, Josh, there, we picked up some good power.
Yeah, definitely jumped.
So doing the 3 poles, obviously, you know, it's on a dyno, so the ECU's got to learn. That being the very first one that we did with the map on the car too, it hadn't even driven yet. Definitely picked up some good power there. We see 276 and 318 torque, so that one was a lot better. So I need to bump up our rookie numbers over here because we're starting to get the power. So guys, their graph is beautiful though. I mean, look at that, it's super smooth. Start off of torque, obviously you're going to taper torque down as you go. Even the crossover, look at that, rides it out, looks super nice. I'm going to save this configuration so we don't have to keep clicking that. You can definitely hear the wastegate chattering on that one. So we'll go to our AFR and boost. Look at their fuel map though. I mean, it looks super good. Yeah, you have a little dip here, we're really zoomed in, but guys, this looks really good. 11.2 and 15.9 pounds up at redline, so that's pretty impressive, Josh. That's 19.8 pounds what I'm seeing as a peak. Direct showing of that is our torque. You know, we went up 318 torque, 273, so this one should show quite a bit more over the last stock pull, because that's what we're trying to show here, is stock versus this. So pull up that other stock one, you can see, I mean, look at the fueling map difference. It's huge, way smoother. And then we'll pull up our horsepower. Now load. No, I don't want quarter mile. Yeah, you can see there, Josh, look at that. This is a good upgrade up top. This is that boost that's coming in sooner, is over there, and then this is our horsepower, obviously directly replicated by having more boost. Then it lays over up top, almost matching the stock map there. So we will do one more pull like this, and we'll see what it makes, and we'll use that as the final one. I'm going to take a quick photo of this with the graph, just in case we lose power or anything weird happens, but I'm going to take a quick photo of this. All right, I got my photos. So now we are going to do our final pull. Let's see if it makes anything more, because it was already pretty impressive, 40 torque over the stock map, just with doing the intake and the cobb OTS map. All right, and here we go. Price is right. What are your numbers? Wow. Just as we thought, it picked up a little bit more there on that third pull. 323 torque and 282 horsepower. That's pretty impressive, Josh. That's some good numbers there, just off of the OTS map and the intake. And to be honest with you guys, this comes with like what I was talking about before with doing the OTS maps. I mean, if you follow their parts and make sure you have the correct parts for the tune, obviously, then it will run correctly, and it is definitely showing that. I mean, even their AFR is, look at that, butter smooth. I mean, how could you complain about that? Look how smooth their AFR is, nice and flat. That's exactly what you want. Really nice boost curve comes in. Obviously we're dealing with a stock turbo, so it's going to taper down no matter what. Plus we're having to taper in the back half here because we do have limits of a fuel system, and obviously Cobb knows that with these cars. So we're coming in here. I did see where it touched 20 pounds, I believe, at one spot. 19.99 is what I'm seeing, which on the screen I swear I saw 20, but 19.996 is what I saw there. We're coming in, you know, we're at 17.9 pounds. We're already at 11.7 air fuel, guys. I mean, that's a huge upgrade over the factory tune. And then we're coming over 11.2 air fuel, 11.3 11.2, ending at 11.29 up at the top end. So realistically, probably up at the downpipe, that's probably gonna be closer to like a 10.8, 10.9 air fuel, which is exactly what we want. So let's compare, because I told you guys we would. We got our best number there. I need to bump our numbers up again, Josh. I mean, that's always a good day when you're on the dyno and you got to keep up in your graph numbers. So, beautiful graph. I don't want a 5, I want a 6. Now let's pull up our other one. We'll save this again. Now we don't have to keep adjusting. Takes a moment. Now let's pull up this other test. I see what you think of our tuning experience.
I'm tired. I can take a nap.
Wow, we need to make more power. Alright, so here we have it, overstock, guys. Look at that. I mean, definitely, obviously a huge increase here. This is directly by, we were running more boost. Horsepower is going to follow, and it is riding out above factory all the way out, and you see how it doesn't taper as much right there. So it's just a nice flat out the back. That is awesome to see. So that is going to wrap it up for stage 1. Next thing, we're going to move stage 2. Excited for that. We're going to get some sound out the back of the car now. I think we'll give it a benefit of doubt. We're gonna put a exhaust on it. We got an exhaust dropped off for this thing, so we're gonna put the cobb catted downpipe on here, and we're gonna put an NVIDIA Q300 on this thing, so it is gonna sound way better than what we're dealing with right now. Then I don't have to hear tires rolling on the dyno. So we're gonna go grab some food. I'm gonna pull the car over in the other shop. We're gonna let it cool down, and then we're gonna pick up the video from there.
Oh boy, having too much fun. Oh, as I almost eat shit on that ice right there.
All right, guys, we're back from getting some food. Definitely feel a lot better. And now we got Josh's RA in the other shop. As you guys saw, we were pulling that thing in. Josh about ate shit in front of the shop on some ice. It was pretty great. So you're probably gonna see that in the video. And what we have here is a cobb downpipe, catted. So keep everyone happy. And we obviously just put the cobb intake on. And he's coming in with his other part. Did you hit the truck? Look at him, he's like, no. What do you got there? Is that the truck salvage title 101 right there? As you probably fell and went down the side of the truck out there?
Yeah, I definitely made sure I watched that truck.
Well, we got our favorite NVIDIA Q300. Best exhaust on the market for these cars, guys. Whether it's a simple stage 2 setup all the way up to, you know, we've ran these things at 800 horsepower before. And yes, they do become a restriction factor once you get up in that level. But for a street car that you're going to drive every day, this is your go-to exhaust. No drone, doesn't have too much sound until you get on it. Definitely the best sounding exhaust. You guys know it's our favorite. So he has that there that we're going to be putting on. First steps here, what we got to do is obviously we got to pull our intercooler off, get that top mount off, and then we're going to be getting this downpipe off of here. And I forgot to tell Josh, these stock downpipes are worth quite a bit of money. Are we keeping it or are we selling it? So, what are we doing? Are we going to sell this stock downpipe and put more parts on the car?
Let's see what we got on the shelf over there.
Oh, geez. Get away from the shelf.
Let's be like all the customers that come by.
All the customers are going to battle you out here, guys. Look at this beautiful shelf. And I did miss out today. We did one piece to the Honda build that I know you guys are going to enjoy. Brand new OEM wheels you saw on the Falcon tires. I still need to clean the tires off from them putting them on. But, guys, they look so good on there. Definitely needs to be a little bit lower. Don't ask the wife her opinion because we already know what it is.
Ugly as fuck.
Oh, God.
No comment, okay? I'm just gonna get started on this. She's getting kicked out of the shop, so if you don't see her in the video again, that's why. All right, so as we're working away underneath the shower, that Josh calls it, as this thing's showering down all the snow, so he's getting his old exhaust ripped off here so we can put the Q300 on. And I just wanted to show you guys side-by-side comparison for those of you that are looking to do stage 2 on your car or don't know what your factory downpipe versus an aftermarket one looks like. This is what we have here. Factory having an upper cat and a lower cat. Our high flow cat unit from Cobb having just a high flow cat in the back of it. So only thing we have to do is transfer over our rear O2 sensor, and then this thing is ready to go on the car. We do need to transfer over the donut gasket to the Cobb one. And other than that, we should be good to go. Now, usually I would recommend buying a new one of these. This was kind of spontaneous, and we know Josh kind of sucks at ordering parts, so there's that. Yeah, that's right. Just laugh back there. So, kind of a cool sight.
I thought you'd have it all on the shelf. I could just steal it and replace it.
I know. Good thing I have plenty of gaskets for exhaust here. So, I'm gonna get this new downpipe up on the car while he's doing his exhaust. I'm gonna guess that he's gonna take longer than I am, so I'll take a nice little break after I get this thing put up here. So, while Josh is finishing up the back of the car and the wife's bitching at me about a Honda, we went ahead and messed with the good old RA wing, and Josh has looked a little faster than ours because he had more angle to dangle in the back. So these things are factory adjustable. Wow, that's really bad lighting. But they have 2 bolt holes here. Maybe this will be better. Yep, you can see the other bolt hole that is obviously in. But now, we instantly gained 100 horsepower just by angling the wing. Would you have thought of that?
Throw it on the dyno.
That's why yours is making such good power. The airflow. We didn't even think about it. That's why. You want to show a little merch drop while we're here?
Oh, we got lanyards.
We got new lanyards on the website. For those of you that are tuned by us or not, and you still want to support, you got BBR Tuned black lanyard. So new on the website. You guys want to go check those out? Go ahead. Links in the description. Wife's kind of just pretending like she knows how to drive. Oh, so that's right. I got you back for the Honda jokes, pal.
The Honda jokes never end.
No, they do.
No, they
today
don't.
when I close this door. Bye. See ya. All right, guys, we're all finished up here. I should have showed you guys underneath the hood, but you know what it looks like. Cobb intake still on. Downpipe is on. Map is loaded. Stage 2 Cobb map. So now, cold start for the boys. You gonna hold the camera?
Sure, anything for you.
Thank you. Here we go, Josh. Josh's first reaction to his Q300. Wait a second. And crank her up.
We're not stock no more.
Much better.
Much better.
see, we are on the dyno and went ahead and I did load our own map on the car because it looks like Cobb does not have any stage 2 maps for the Cobb SF. So I'm a bit let down with that. I was really hoping to do more back-to-back testing for you guys, but it's just not going to be possible unless we were to put a factory airbox on the car, and we're not trying to do that. So I went ahead, put my own map on the car. Car responded very well. First base map pull, we made 290 and 315 torque, so definitely looks good. Definitely some room to smooth out the graph, but that was the first initial pull in the car. And I'll take a look over here and we can look at our boost and air fuel. That one, we had a peak of 20 right here, which I can definitely clean this map up more, and our air fuel staying down in the 11. So looking good, not bad for the first base map. Definitely good power, kind of where I thought it was going to be. You know, 310 to 315 torque is where I pretty much said it was going to be, and right around 290 to 300. So I think that's pretty impressive on this dyno. I'm going to go ahead and bump up our stop on the dyno up to 65, and I'm going to rev the car out. Made some changes. We are going to do another pull, so I'm going to bring you guys along here, see how she responds. Cleaning up, and as I had thought, I cleaned it up a bit with boost and added a little bit of fuel. We did lose a little bit, made 287 and 305 on that pull, but a much cleaner graph, and that's kind of what I was going for on that one. So let's go ahead and bump our numbers out here, but definitely a cleaner graph, guys. So let's see if our boost was cleaner on that one as well. Let me save that actually before we go over here. So save. That way we don't have to keep changing this. And see how our boost came up, held, and then came down nice and gradual. Air fuel followed. Definitely a lot better on that one. So yeah, we lost a little bit of power, but we gained being very smooth, and I would rather have a smooth power graph than a couple horsepower, right?
Yeah, you want to run good.
Want the car to be happy, want it to live. That is the main point of this. Obviously you guys know this thing's gonna end up going to a different stage, but this is great for you guys to get to see. Thankful for Josh to be able to do that for you guys, so thank him down below, please. And like I said, taking a look here, car is responding well. I did add a couple of degrees of timing on that one, and we are pretty much tapped on our injectors. I can tell you guys that right now. We're at about 94 to 95% duty cycle on the injectors, so I knew that was going to come. That's inevitable. That's what happens with doing these cars stage 2. So really happy though. If it definitely cleaned it up a lot. So I'm going to take a look at this and decide what we want to do from here. I'll save this. This looks good. We can try and add more boost. The car is happy right now. We did leave the factory boost controller on it because I have plenty of wastegate duty left, and with our fuel system we have right now, it really doesn't make sense. He can go ahead and order a brand new one to put on the car, and we can do that at the same time we put the fuel system on the car. So go ahead and analyze this data log, make a couple changes, and we will do another power pull and see what happens. Okay guys, I made a couple changes. We were at 287, 305. Let's see if those changes are gonna help us and maybe get us some more power. So let's get her going. sounded really clean. Did get us some more torque and a little bit more power there. I actually made 287 before. I went 284, 321 torque though. Definitely sounded a lot cleaner there. More rowdy. Yeah, look at that graph, Josh. That's a nice graph. I know this is the lighting. Look at that. Comes up, beautiful, holds it, and just keeps holding. You can hear it there. That was a nice pull. Let's go ahead and look and see what our boost graph looked like. I would imagine our boost graph is going to be a little bit cleaner. Yep, we got to hit a bit more boost there. Dyno's showing we hit 20.9 and Cardi says 20.3, so definitely got her to come up. Got her richer up top. It's like 11.3 at red line there. Keep in mind that's our wideband at the back of the car. Probably gonna be closer to that 11.0 range, but definitely looks nice and clean. What do you think? Sounded better on that one.
Yeah,
sounded more rowdy.
Bump in the torque too.
Yeah, that was a good bump in torque. 321. Let's see if I can go ahead and overlay our last one over this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I mean, this is a pretty in-depth day. I know this is gonna be a longer video. This is definitely for those of you that are intrigued and want to learn. Most of you guys know that have been watching the channel for a long time. I really didn't show much with tuning, and this is me showing a bit more and more for you guys. So hopefully those that wanted to see it are enjoying this. For the other ones, I know you might get bored. I don't blame you if you fast forward, but just trying to be more transparent and show you guys more and more. But yeah, look at that, just over the last one we did there, you can see the torque come in and the horsepower over it the whole way. We did carry a little bit more out on the last one, but that's because I had it a little bit richer on this one at the end, so I could lean it out. Obviously we could level that out there, but I did have it, like I said, a bit richer on the end, which is keeps the motor alive. You know, leaner is meaner. It will always make more power, but it doesn't mean it's always better. So yeah, you can see on the previous one, I don't know how well the GoPro picked this up. Dark red being the previous one, you can see we were a little bit leaner at the end. That's why it helped power out more. Light blue is this pole. We had a bit more boost coming all the way through the whole pole, which explains our torque. That's why we had a little bit more torque. And we had a little bit less horsepower because we added more fuel into it. So that's where I keep telling you guys, you know, boost is a direct representation of torque. Obviously, you know, you're hitting that boost hard, it's bringing the torque up. Fuel up top being richer, obviously it's going to tame horsepower down. There's a lot more to it than that, but that just gives you an explanation. And it's nice to see back to back. Look at how close they are.
Yeah.
You know, we made several changes and it's that close still. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to take a photo and we'll do our little drive here. Check drivability. I'm going to look at the log too. I need to do that. And then we're pretty much finished up. We're about, what? This is our third pole, right?
Yeah.
Not that bad, guys. Wow, that is just a nice graph. For a stage 2 car, that's really nice. I know, for those of you that look at this and probably look at torque, you're like, why the heck does torque fall off? That's pretty standard, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the horsepower and where they're crossing, and we're crossing at 5,200 RPMs, and then horsepower is taking over from there. Keep in mind on this car, turbo is small, so it is falling off up top, so we're using timing up top to make up for it, but that's going to answer that. Let me take a photo and we'll move to some drivability and make sure everything looks good. Okay guys, I decided to leave it there. We left it, what was it again? I just put it away. Whatever our last pull was, it was
284.
I think it was 284 and 284 and 321, 20 pounds of boost. Injector duty cycle 95%. There's no reason to push it on these stock injectors, so I'm going to leave it there. Pretty happy with that. I'm just going to show you guys a little tip to it on the dyno here, so you can see what the thing's a little bit like. Ripper. What do you think?
Yeah. Comes in a lot faster than it did.
Yeah, night and day. Like how these things factory, like. It sounds so good. It's just so much better than a factory tune, guys. For those of you out there wondering if you should tune your car, hopefully this video enlightens you on it and shows you how bad the factory tunes are. They're garbage. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. I'm a true believer that, you know, the people that want to wait it out and have their warranty run out end up having more issues down the road, because then they're putting their car through all that abuse of that lean fueling map that stock has. And if you are a spirited driver and you like to enjoy your car on back roads, or you are a low RPM person that floors it, it's inevitable you're going to have problems down the road. So I would definitely hands down recommend doing the Cobb Stage 1 package. And if you want to do a Stage 2 package, definitely do a Stage 2 package with a Pro Tune. I would hands down recommend it. I think Josh is really going to enjoy this thing. I know we're on a dyno, so it's kind of hard. Roads are really shitty outside, so he's going to have to enjoy it on back roads where they're clear. But I wish we could go out and do a little tip in and see what you think of it. I guess we have the good old highway.
Oh boy.
We can just go do a little hit in good old Mexico. But I'm happy there. I'm gonna leave it there. I told Josh I don't see a reason to push it with this fuel system. You know, once we get some bigger injectors in the car, look at doing an external wastegate on the car, an AOS, you know, and it just spirals from there. So we're gonna do fuel rails, torque solution obviously, and we're gonna do an air motive regulator. We have a set of 1050X injectors for the car, and I want them to get a boost controller and external wastegate, and that would be completely full bolt-ons on the car. Also the AOS, the competition series. And then we could do a front mount on the car is what I really would like him to do. Maybe a top mount for budget wise if we need to for now, and a bigger turbo, definitely a bigger turbo, because you guys know how I feel about stock turbos. They suck. So I'm excited for you to feel the scene.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get the scene off, stop it here, end the map there, and maybe we'll talk him into a little drivability Mexico action. See what he thinks. Maybe.
You know, I'm always down for it, so
oh, yeah.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Watch him. All right, we're setting our launch control up. He doesn't even know. Let's see what he does. Ah! Had to get the launch control set up.
There you go.
Nice little 55 action.
That sounds mean.
She'll party.
Yeah, she sounds mean.
Oh yeah. Now it's time for our Mexico hit. Whew. Cannot wait. Got to close up though. All right, bud. Here we go. Oh, there's your clutch.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it rips.
Dude, he just wants to keep going.
Dude, Stage 2 car blew through the clutch. I told you this clutch seems like it's toasted.
Yeah.
We knew it from the time we bought this car, guys. I know it's dark in here, but the clutch is right at the very top of the pedal, so whoever had it just probably didn't know how to drive a clutch, kind of like our RA. But what do you think? What's your impressions? I know it's dark in here.
I mean, for a small turbo like that, it just wants to keep going.
Dude.
It was full, smooth. Torque was there.
Super smooth, super happy. Man, drivability is improved.
Oh man.
Just cruising it.
Alright, let's get a bigger turbo.
Time for a bigger turbo. He said it. Okay guys, that was really spontaneous little GoPro pole action. We'll get another one out here later on. We're gonna let her cool down though. We're hot lapping it. Alright. Oh boy. Getting spicy, bud.
Got a little slippery there.
Yep. Damn, this thing's a ripper. What do you think of that STI drivetrain?
It shifts really nice.
Dude, isn't it nice?
This is the first time even shifting it, so.
Yeah. He's always been an Evo boy, and you can't beat the STI tranny.
No, that's really smooth. It goes right in too.
Right? That's what she said. Okay, we had to go get gas because we're getting pretty low, and then we can turn off all these lights from the dyno. But now I got you in the light. What's your impressions of Stage 2?
It's definitely a lot faster than stock, that's for sure. And it's so smooth, consistent in the way that it's pulling. Like, you wouldn't expect a small turbo like that to want to just keep pulling in the top end.
No. I know we kind of get wrapped up in the numbers, guys, and you see 284 on the Mustang, and you're pretty let down. Like, I would hope to see 300, right? You know, and the realistic side is this thing feels pretty fast for a 284 car. And at the end of the day, numbers are numbers. You guys always know I say it reads low. In the end, I just want him to be happy, enjoy the car. And I can tell you, you've had cars before that made power. What do you think?
Well, it's like when you make massive power and then you put it closer to stock, you enjoy it more.
Right.
So this is definitely very enjoyable power.
Man, your clutch
It's stinking.
smoked.
It's stinking.
I think you rode it too much.
Well, it was kind of a
Spur of the moment.
stop, give it to
Go.
it, let's go.
Well, oh well, we'll end up putting a clutch in it. Who cares?
Yeah.
So we're gonna grab some gas, probably get some food. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Maybe I'll get a little outside video at some point. I don't know. It's pretty cold out. Probably not. It's like 14 degrees outside.
Yeah, you ain't standing outside.
Long enough video for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Spontaneous. Enjoyed Josh on the channel.
Yeah.
Thank you, guy.
Thank you. Gotta love it when you Bader gives it the sauce. So.
Oh, dude, we gave it all the sauce. 20 pounds on stock fuel system. Yeah, we're partying, boys.
Yeah.
All right, we out. See you next time.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you lemons, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground.